The Sega Master System saw moderate success in Japan and in North America. It saw even more success in Europe, but perhaps its biggest success came in Brazil. Releasing in 1989 in Brazil, the Master System had a whopping lifespan of 10 years. It absolutely crushed the NES in Brazil, which was released in 1993, and claimed 80% of the market. Today, we're looking at all 21 Brazilian exclusive Master System games. And just as a heads up, this list will not include compilation games or cartridges, just single games. But before we get into this list, any Master System fans that haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button for this channel, as I have plenty of Master System content from retrospectives and countdowns showing love to Sega's 8-bit console. Let's head to Brazil and explore the Master System exclusives that they received. The Quest for the Shaven Yak. Ren and Stimpy just found a pair of hooves which belonged to the great Shaven Yak, who lost them in the last yak shaving day. Now they must find the Shaven Yak and return him his hooves, or there won't be any more yak shaving days. In this platform game, the player chooses to play as either Ren or Stimpy and can change whenever they lose a life or at the beginning of some stages. Both characters can jump and shoot. Ren shoots toothbrushes, Stimpy spits, but each one has their own special ability. Ren can perform high jumps, while Stimpy can smash things by jumping on them. Each character starts the game with 3 lives. Fire and Ice. In this run and jump platform game, you must jump on platforms and kill your enemies. The enemies, for example, birds and penguins, can be shot with your ice cubes, and once they become frozen, you can smash them. Sometimes they leave part of a key behind after they've been destroyed. Once you complete the key from all the pieces you found in the level, it will open the door to the next world. You can also get some power-ups. You can find some coyote puppies that will follow you and make you invincible, or also shoot the enemies. In higher regions, you can find some snowflakes, and with enough of these, you'll get a great snowball for freezing more enemies on the screen. Dynamite Headdy. Dynamite Headdy is a platformer with a bit of a difference. You control a little character whose main attack comes from his disembodied head. Yes, years before Rayman appeared, we already had a hero who used detachable appendages to attack his enemies. Rather than the traditional power-ups, Dynamite Headdy enables you to swap your head for different kinds, such as heads that heal you or heads that stick to the walls. You can also use your head in order to climb up on platforms, and you can also grab items with your head. X-Men 3 Mojo World. The game starts off with Wolverine and Rogue as playable X-Men. Gambit, Cyclops, Havoc, and Shard can also be unlocked later on. In this action game, the game is split into 2 parts. The first part has 4 stages where you will rescue your captured teammates. Hope you enjoy boss battles because you will fight a few famous X-Men enemies, including Warwolves, Magento, Master Mold, Trevor Fitzroy, The Agent, and Mojo. Echo: The Tides of Time. This is the follow-up to Echo the Dolphin, in which Echo successfully destroyed the Vortex. But unfortunately, it turns out that the Vortex Queen followed it to the Earth and eventually destroyed the asteroid. So that means all the world's oceans are threatened and actually doomed. In order to restore the asteroid and finally defeat the Vortex Queen, Echo will have to confront once again the Tides of Time, which have split into 2 possible futures, the regular one and the dark one, dominated by the Vortex Queen. Baku Baku Animal. Baku Baku Animal is a variation on the very often copied Tetris type of game. The game has 3 different play modes: practice, normal, and hard. The objective is to pair animal heads with their respective food. So, if a rabbit head comes falling, you must make it fall on a pile of carrots. Dog heads with bones, panda heads with bamboos, and monkey heads with bananas. Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Help either Ariel, the gleeful little mermaid, or Triton, her father, foil the evil Ursula, who has transformed everyone into small green worm-like creatures, including the character you don't initially choose. Rescuing requires you to simply swim into the unfortunate little victims as they hang about at fixed places in the watery world. You'll also have to fend off and dodge enemies like eels, clams, sharks, and other sea meanies. Friends like Flounder and Sebastian can also be summoned for a little bit of a helping hand. FIFA International Soccer. The game that started the best-selling series licensed by football's world governing body, this is the first installment in the long-running series. Based on international teams with fictional player names, their abilities in each skill area are rated out of 10 to give the player an overall impression of how good they are. Battletoads and Battlemaniacs. The 3 Battletoads, Zitz, Rash, and Pimple, are in Tibet to witness the presentation of the Cycone Gamescape, a virtual reality machine. All of a sudden, a monster jumps out of the game world, captures both the Cycone's CEO's daughter and Zitz, and takes them back into the Gamescape. Of course, Rash and Pimple will have to enter the Gamescape and rescue them. Battletoads and Battlemaniacs is another game in the Battletoads series by Rare. Much like its predecessor, it blends fighting game elements with other kinds of gameplay like racing levels, snake riding levels, and much more. Woody Woodpecker's Frustrated Vacation. While Woody Woodpecker and his friends were having a vacation, Buzz Buzzard kidnapped Woody's pals. This game is a licensed platformer in which the text is in Portuguese. Woody is able to jump, run, and peck to defeat enemies. There are items to pick up during the adventure, such as rocket packs to guide you, and a horn to wake Wally Walrus, and a paintbrush. Mortal Kombat 3. Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 were released on the Master System in other regions, but Brazil is the only country to get Mortal Kombat 3. While it looks nothing like the other versions on higher-end consoles, it does keep the same fatalities, friendships, and babalities. Virtua Fighter Animation. Virtua Fighter Animation is a one-on-one 2D fighting game based on the Virtua Fighter anime series. It has 2 game modes, Story and Versus. In the Story mode, the player follows the anime's plot with anime-style cutscenes before and after each fight. The story is divided into acts, each one of them corresponding to one fight. The Versus mode allows players to choose any of the 7 available characters to fight the CPU. Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim is a 2D side-scrolling platformer with action elements where the player takes control of Jim, a worm wearing a spacesuit. Jim can shoot enemies with his gun or use his body in a variety of ways to overcome obstacles, such as whipping it at enemies, grappling hooks to swing from them, or making it spin very fast like a rotator to hover for a short time. While most of the game is made of standard platforming levels with a boss waiting at the end, some of the levels introduce different conditions than just reaching the end to complete them, like escort missions. Taz in Escape from Mars. You play as Taz, the famous cartoon character. Taz is captured by Marvin the Martian and transferred to his intergalactic zoo. Now it is your job to aid Taz in his great escape from the zoo prison and also find a way back home to Earth. To make the escape a little easier, there are items placed here and there, such as cakes, which make you regain your health. You may also find gas tanks, which you can eat and then breathe fire. You will have to travel through the zoo and a big wasteland and many other hostile zones with a lot of weird enemies and bizarre bosses. Rotim Bum Castle. Rotim Bum Castle is an action-adventure game based on a quite popular education Brazilian TV series. The player can choose to play as either Pedro or Biba to search for the ingredients throughout 5 levels. The main difference between the two is that Biba is a little bit faster than Pedro. Each level involves some platforming and minor puzzle-solving elements, like jumping over the right sequences of platforms or finding food inside the kitchen drawers in the right order. To enter each level, the player must choose the right door based on the doorkeeper's tips. The player has 3 lives and a health bar, and continues are available. All the text in the game is in Portuguese. Street Fighter II Championship Edition. This version of Street Fighter II The World Warrior is similar in most aspects to the original, save that all the characters are selectable from the get-go. Sonic Blast. Brazilian-based TecToy released Sonic Blast for the Sega Master System in 1997, a year after the initial Game Gear release. While many may think this is a pirated title, TecToy is indeed licensed to produce and release games under the Sega name. Bonkers Wax Up. Madame Who Said has been coating famous tunes in wax to make statues for her wax museum, and the next victim will be Bonkers. Now he needs to stop her, free his pal Lucky, and find the tune toaster to unwax the tunes. In this platform game, the player controls Bonkers through several levels where he must find 7 clues. Bonkers will also find several items to restore his health, like cups of coffee, donuts, slices of pizza, and badges. Sentido do Pica-Pau Amarelo. Yes, I just absolutely slaughtered that title, but Portuguese is not my first language. So what's this all about? Aunt Anastasia is sick and Dr. Snails is called to examine her, and he's got some good and bad news. The good news is that she can be cured. The bad news is that to prepare the medicine, he'll need 5 rare ingredients. So Pete and Emily are sent to bring the ingredients back to Dr. Snails. Gameplay consists of basic side-scrolling and platforming, and either characters can jump, shoot, and duck. The game has 4 levels for you to collect ingredients. Legend of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. Once upon a mouse, there was a kingdom that was ruled by the selfish King Pete. One day, a terrible shadow crept over the kingdom, threatening the lives of its inhabitants. The king's advisor said the only way to stop the shadow would be for the king himself to travel out and seek the cure. But the cowardly King Pete preferred to stay in the castle and sent a simple laundry boy named Mickey instead. As Mickey Mouse, you will travel through various levels in this platform game. Mickey shoots an unlimited amount of little balls. He can jump, climb on stairs, hang on ropes, and perform other tricks. Mickey can also pick up items and put them in other places to make things easier for him, like accessing higher levels or to be able to break treasure chests open. Mickey's Ultimate Challenge. Mickey's Ultimate Challenge is a puzzle game in which the player chooses either Mickey or Minnie to play with. They'll find 5 characters from the Disney's universe in the kingdom and will be prompted to help them in several tasks. Each task is a different puzzle given by a specific character. Daisy, for instance, will ask to help clean the castle's paintings hanging on the wall. The task is in fact a memory game in which Mickey or Minnie must clean the pictures matching pairs. After completing one task, they'll receive a gift. Giving the right items to the right characters will allow Mickey or Minnie to access the next puzzle and character. So those were all of the Brazilian exclusive Sega Master System games that were released in Brazil. Which one of them do you wish came to your region? Or if you're Brazilian, let me know which is your favorite title that you have in your collection. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel to watch plenty of more Sega Master System content. Thanks for watching.